Hello, my friends. I'm so glad you're here today because this is quite a time of year. This is a time of year where expectations just are through the roof. And for many of us, it's not exactly the joyful season that we're hearing about and that everybody's wishing us, right? And so if this isn't the season that you wanted it to be, if this is a time of a lot of stress, if your life right now is not like out of a Hallmark movie or something that you see on all the advertisements, I want to give you 3 tips because I want you to be okay during this time. And let's face it, as women in medicine, as women in general, and really for a lot of us, there's just so many expectations that everything will be just so. Expectations of ourselves. We've learned to have kind of a high bar for ourselves and all that we can achieve. And we're so used to making everything great for everybody, getting the right presents and having the right house and on and on and on, doing the best for our patients, making everything just right, that we don't always really take the time to zoom out and think about having less stress and how we can take care of ourselves during this time. So I want to give you 3 tips that I've found useful, and I've found useful for the women and others that I coach, and perhaps they'll be useful for you too. So, number 1, what if imperfect is actually perfect? What if imperfect is the new normal? Because that sense that everything has to be just right, that your house has to be just right, that your entertaining has to be just right, that you have to get the perfect gifts. Guess what? For those people who already have everything they need, or maybe have their own high standards of what they consider a good gift. That the food you cook has to be perfect, that the food you bring has to be perfect, that how you get along with people has to be perfect. I really believe that imperfect should be the new normal because you deserve to enjoy this time, and there's so much goodness. There really can be a lot of goodness, a time for abundance and a time for a lot of gratitude for the good things in your life, no matter what the bad things are. I'm sure there are many that are good, and you deserve to enjoy that. So think about whether imperfect could be just right and could be just the way things are supposed to be. It's the way things roll, actually, so why not embrace it? So that's number 1. Number 2 is not taking anything personally. That's been a game changer for me in my own life, and it's one of the best coaching questions I can ask my clients. So what if what's going on here actually isn't about you? So what do I mean by that? Well, you might have time with your family of origin, extended family, kids coming home, whatever it is. And families are really complicated. They're complicated, and they're not complicated because there's something wrong with you or how you interact or whether you got the right present. They're complicated because they're complicated, and there's a lot of baggage. There's a lot of stuff from the past that creeps into all of our family relationships. So if you're like that part of that 1% that has this amazing family and everything's wonderful and you've worked out your differences and, you're just singing in harmony, well, that's great. Maybe you don't need this tip. For the rest of us who have issues from the past, whether it's with our chosen family or our biologic family, allow yourself to just rise above what can feel like jabs when, your sister Susie says something about your kids not behaving perfectly, or if you're anything like me, my Aunt Dee would always turn her nose, and snub any present anybody got her because they just weren't up to her standards. Well, you know what? It took me a long time to realize that was Aunt Dee. That wasn't me. So I want to encourage you just to laugh a little bit, to take yourself less seriously, to take things that you would normally take personally when you're around family in particular, to take the high road and just don't even take the bait. Don't even engage with them in the same way. I think you'll feel better about yourself and you'll have a less stressful time. So that's the second tip. Don't take anything personally. It probably isn't. And in the unlikely chance that it is, well, okay, you can still let it roll off you with greater ease and grace. So the third is, I hope you can find time to truly turn off, to truly have some time for yourself. I mean, what a rare thing that is, isn't it? You're so busy taking care of patients, taking care of family members, making sure everything gets done, right? No matter what the division of labor is in your household, you're probably doing quite a bit, and maybe more than whoever you cohabit with. So I really want to encourage you, take some downtime, a hot bath, a nice cup of tea, whatever floats your boat. I've talked in other lives and other lessons about what I call the daily dose of goodness. Well, the holiday time is a time to allow yourself, give yourself permission to do something that's just for you. You don't have to do that thing perfectly. You don't want to get caught there, but to have some time that's just for you, reading a book, playing a musical instrument, getting out for a run, playing pickleball, if you're anything like me. But really take some time for yourself. You deserve it. You work incredibly hard. You deserve to have your tank filled, or at least not empty. So those are my 3 tips, that imperfect is the new normal. It's a great normal, actually. It's a much healthier place to live than the old normal of everything having to be perfect. Second, don't take anything personally that you absolutely don't have to. Don't take the bait, especially around family members. And third, give yourself a little dose of goodness over the holidays. And I say this because you deserve it. I can only imagine how hard you work day in, day out, doing a lot for other people. You deserve to have a holiday with less stress, and that is what I truly wish for you during this time. I myself am having a birthday on Christmas, so I'll be taking some downtime to enjoy that time. But I really hope that you can take care of yourself during this time of the year so you can enter 2024 kind of with feeling really good about yourself, feeling like you did something for you, as well as helping, kind of those around you. You can be a role model for imperfection and for not taking things personally and for taking care of yourself. So I wish you much peace and enjoyment, and really wishing you many, many moments of calm and ease.